Hi, this is the Way Out series. It is a collection of testimonies and revelations that can help you in your own healing journey. This is an online training on renewing your mind, inner healing, based on the way that's already behind me. This is not a few-step program. It is an encouragement and tools from someone on the way out to others on the way out. I believe that what meant a turning point for me will become yours as well. Have a great way out. Hi, it's the exercise for the fourth session. In the fourth session, I was talking about how God convinced me that He's going to heal me and He's healing me, and the whole turning point when I started to actually see it and know it, that my healing is possible and it is on the way. And I would like to do an exercise with you guys that can bring the same sense of experience. I know that I can't do exactly that because it was something special for me, and what God is going to do to you is also very unique, so it is not that customizable, but I think I have an idea about what we can do that would be good for someone in a chronic mental illness, but also helpful for someone who is doing okay, who just wants to go forward in the process of renewing the mind. So what is required for this exercise is to relax. It's a game, so don't take it too seriously, but take it seriously. So it's like it's very important what is going to happen now, but it's okay if you can't follow it, or you can't feel it, or you can't own what is happening. It's not a requirement for your healing. It's not like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, maybe I'm that messed up, or maybe I won't progress in my healing journey if I can't feel exactly what this girl says. So just don't put any pressure on you. It's okay if you don't feel like seeing or sensing or thinking anything I say to you during this game, but I ask you to try it and feel like it's not something that your life depends on, but give it a try, because for some of you, Holy Spirit will shift things during this game, and yeah, it's okay if you don't feel like it. God has other ways, other exercises, or altogether other ways to help you in your healing journey. But for me, it's like a game that helped me a lot, and I know that for some people it is the thing they need to do or need to experience to take the next step. So with all that said, just find a comfortable place wherever you sit and just relax. The Holy Spirit is here to work on you with all the angels assigned to your healing, and just relax. Thank you, God, for bringing clarity and insight, and all the burdens are taken away. Just enjoy the peace for the moment. Don't have to do anything. And I just want to ask you to watch your breath. Just breathe deeply for a few times. It's nothing like of magical power. It's just while you watch your own breath, you can't worry, you can't get lost in your thinking patterns. You have to be present, and this helps you to stay here with your mind. So just watch your breath. Whenever you feel like you need more time than what I give in this video, just pause the video or switch it off. Take any time you need. You don't have to go with me. Jesus is in the room with you. Just see him or imagine him. Where is he now? What is he doing? Just see him the way he appears at this moment. And he says, "Thank you for coming. I'm so happy for you. There is something I would like to show to you." And I say to Jesus, "Would you please show me what I am like when I'm completely healed? How do I feel? What do I do when I'm completely restored? Show me who you created me to be. What I am like without twistedness, without sin, without a fall. Or what I am after complete restoration and complete healing. Show me that me that is completely set free, all the lies, all the bondages, all the negative thinking patterns, everything. The perfectly restored version, the original version of my person. And let him show you pictures or thoughts or just an impression. He's going to talk about what you are like. see how you react to people in this state, how you greet them, how you get up in the morning, how you see life, how you see yourself. Just allow Jesus to give you a whole picture of the perfect you. This perfectly restored you is someone you are going to be. And you can imagine that it's gonna happen like just in heaven or decades later or years later. So depending on your faith right now, you can see it as something that you are right now. If you want to. Because there is a gap between like what you experience now and how free you are and the person that Jesus has shown to you right now. And it's okay if there is a huge gap. And now I would like you to get into the skin of this person you imagine yourself to become later. Just see yourself as it. Just put it on as a suit. Just become it for a second. Just see that you are that person. As if there was a cut in the movie and now decades passed. And here you are, this person you found to be impossible to become decades before. And here you are, this perfectly restored, healthy person, not a shred of lie present in your mind. Everything is perfect about you. All the bad memories, all the twisted thinking patterns and bondages are gone. How do you feel? And allow yourself to feel every aspect of it. All the joy, all the freedom, all the motivation and energy, how much you love life. How much you love yourself. How much you like yourself. how much you are fond of every detail of your personality. What do you feel when you get up in the morning as a perfectly healthy person? How do you greet people? How do you feel when you're surrounded by people? What does it feel like to have someone act inappropriately or embarrassingly in that state? How does it affect you now that you are perfect? How much you can laugh about things that hurt you before. Feel the love of life, like you feel how full you are of life. Like a nuclear reactor, you are just about to burst out. See all the things that you are free to do in that restored state that you are not able to do right now. If you have no ideas, just ask Jesus. Jesus, what is it that I'm able to do and sense and enjoy when I'm perfectly restored and I'm perfectly whole that I'm not able to do now? Even if you are perfectly healed right now, feel like you're doing awesome, Jesus is able to blow your mind. To show you a way higher perspective. And Jesus says, okay, here are some crazy ideas that you are going to do. How do you feel while doing those things? Just take a moment and sense that fullness. How much you are aware of that you're good enough and you cannot be any better. Now that you are in the skin of this new you, this future you, just assume it is true for a second and enjoy every aspect of it. Enjoy that you can do things that you are not able to. At least you think like you're not able to right now. And feel things you think you are not able to right now. Just try it. It's a new game. I can feel that. I can do that. Just allow yourself those things. And Jesus says, thank you for allowing me to show you who you actually are. When you imagined that what you would be like in heaven or decades later, this is who you are. This is the true you. You think it was a nice try, a nice game to assume that you are healed, but actually that's the truth about you. And you just allowed yourself a glimpse into reality. The glimpse into the truth of your being. And Jesus says it's okay if you feel like it's far away or you can't fully believe it. It's absolutely okay. I just want you to know that this thing you imagined is more real than your present state. And I am going to take you there, and I am taking you there, and you are there right now. And you can doubt it all you want, just for a second. Try to assume that it is true, that this is who you are right now. Maybe your mind will shout against it because all the circumstances, all the thoughts, everything proves the opposite. But just for a second, try not to pay attention to that and assume this is who you are, just for the sake of the game. And feel all the joy of it. You are that right now. Nothing to be added. All the peace and all the freedom is yours right now. And if you feel like it is very distant, don't worry. It's okay. Every now and then you feel like it's far away. Jesus says, just please would you think about a situation in your life that felt like impossible to be solved. And now it is obvious and taken for granted that it is solved. A school problem, a job issue, a healing, or a family thing, it can be big or small, but something you considered to be impossible to change back then, and now it's like so natural and so obvious that it has changed that you don't understand like how it happened, because it was impossible and now it's just part of your life, nothing special about it. Just take one story. I'm sure you have at least one, because God has been taking care of you like your whole life, so probably there are stories like that. For example, it was impossible for me to pass this exam, and here I am years later doing the job that was related to it, or whatever. You can find a story like that, and just think about it. How impossible it seemed to be, and now how casual it is, like how much the part of your life it is. And just feel the tension of these two viewpoints, and just feel the miracle in it. Like God was able to take you from this point to there. The God living in you was able to do that. You are so full of God. You were able to go from this point there. Just feel the joy and gratitude related to this story. Like the impossible really did happen. And Jesus tells you, if that impossible story is now absolutely natural to you, don't you think I am able to bring you there what I've just shown to you today? If I could bridge that gap back then, I am able to bridge the gap you have between your current state and your perfect state. I just feel the gratitude, what you will feel when you look back from your perfect self to your current self, and just think about the joy that, okay, it was impossible and now here it is. Just feel the gratitude for it. In this game, once more, just feel and know that you are healed and you are completely free. Just allow your brain and feelings to go there. Everything is okay. You are perfectly healed. What does it feel like? Jesus says, thank you for this game. Thank you that I could show this reality of your being. This is who you are, and this is what you are becoming and manifesting if you allow me to convince you that this is who you really are. And I promise you, I won't give up on you, and I won't relent until you know to be true about you what I know to be true about you. And it is happening, and it will happen, and you will look back with joy to the impossible gap you once perceived between your state and the perfect wholeness, and you will laugh about it. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you allowed me to show a little aspect of who I imagined you to be and created you to be. And as you let me renew your mind to that, you will also experience it as a reality. I can't wait to see you enjoying your wholeness. Amen. This game has never happened to me like that. But many times when I spend time with Jesus, he shows me pictures and tells me to imagine things, and it helps me to accept my freedom and realize my freedom. I think it's a very powerful thing to see things and imagine things. We need to understand that this is not a magic trick. This is science. This is how our brains work. It's not something that I found out. I'm not that smart. I just did those things because I felt like I should do them. But later I discovered that there are scientists who have been researching this field for decades, and they came to the same conclusions. Your mind is not very able to distinguish between an imaginary picture and the real happening. So if you see a negative scenery in your mind, your body will release the negative chemicals related to that. And the same with positive images. Of course, your brain can distinguish between reality and imagination, but chemically it cannot. It releases the same chemicals as if the happening was real. And of course, I know it's very a shortened version and for lay people like me, but if you want to investigate this, there are people who are really smart and who are really into it and can explain it to you in details how this works. like Joe Dispenza has an awesome work on this. So if you feel like to, you can check it out. Basically, he's leading people into seeing and sensing and feeling their wholeness, and they are getting healed. And it's not like a Reiki healer or something. He's a neurologist, so he's all about science, and so it's not like a cult or something. It's just a scientific research, and you can check it out if you feel like to. It was an amazing confirmation for me. Like, oh, the little games I'm playing in my mind are actually backed by science. So it was a huge thing for me to discover. And now that I know that they weren't just like silly games to trick my brain into believing something positive, but also that's how the brain works. It makes me more comfortable to share those games with people. It is a game, but it isn't. Like, this is a game, but more real than the chair or bed you are sitting on. Like, it's the kind of imagination that is more factual than all the facts of your life up until now. So it's like, I tell you that, oh, it's just a game, so that you won't make yourself like, oh, there is this pressure, I need to perform. You don't need to perform, but it is real. And yeah, and I think it's from the Lord, like, to discover the laws of our soul. Like, if there are laws of physics and we don't deny the gravity because we are Christians, I don't think we should deny the laws of our emotional lives either. So if my brain works like that if I see things, I'm starting to create it, that maybe I should pay more attention to what I see. So it's like a huge machinery. What you put into it is kind of related to the result. And with negative emotions, we do that all the time. Like, you imagine that something bad is going to happen, that somebody is going to be angry with you and upset, and then you imagine that it's going to happen, and then you react to this person like that, and here it is, you created the scene, the argument is present, and what you imagined became real. So we do that all the time. And when I was like, oh, I'm rejected, no one loves me, I started to like release that kind of energy, that kind of atmosphere around me. But not just that, I also reacted like that to people, and assumed it, and expected it, but also provoked it in some sense. Not always directly, but like agreed with it, and I was just like creating the bad imaginations that I had in my head. You surely had this one. Like, you are going on a holiday and you are in a car, on a train, and you are like, have I unplugged the ironing machine? And in the next second, you see the picture of your whole house burned down to the ground, and you are homeless with your kids. And maybe you know it's silly, and you switch this picture off like in a second, but that's how you feel the stress and the whole set of feelings related to this bad scenery. So this is kind of real. And let me tell you that on the positive side, this thing is way much more effective. This method, this tool, like only like half or 10% of the wrong imaginations became actually real, but almost all the good imaginations are becoming real in my life. And I don't say that, oh, I'm over my healing journey, now that I'm on the other side, I can tell you it works. I'm very much in it, but as far as I got, I can tell you that what I started to see in my brain have actually happened and start to actually happen. I remember this summer was like, I was like with my friends, and felt like the person I am now is the person I was hoping to once become 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, I was hoping to once become the present me. So it just shocked me that, oh my gosh, I am the person I wanted to become right now. And now that I'm there, I'm like, oh, the perspective is way higher. There are realms of freedom now, and where I can go. So I don't say, oh, I accomplished it, here it is, well done. But back then, my perspective was my present state, and it seemed impossible, and it had happened. And if this could happen, then the gap between my present state and the perfect healing I am able to sense now will also be bridged. Because it was impossible and it happened. It seems impossible now, and I know it is going to happen. Yeah. So the reason why it's really important what you imagine is that this is the science of emotions and soul. This is how you work. And if you ignore it, the laws are still true. And they are still they still have an effect on you. And most of the times, people who deny it have the negative side of this law, like thinking that, imagining negative things and negative things happening to them. So, yeah, but I can tell you, the positive version is way much more effective, and so it's very powerful. Like, once I was like taking the negative version for granted, and that's how I live, and now I got into the negative every now and then, but it's crazy to see how much the positive imagination works. And it's not because in itself it is powerful. The God living in you is powerful. You are full of God. You are powerful. But this imagining good things is actually not going against the law of God. And by law of God, I mean this law of your soul. That's how you work. That imagination is about to become real. We are made in the image of God. He's a creator. We are creatives as well. And He had this idea, and then He created us. We are His thoughts, and now we are very much alive. That's how we create as well. Like, we have these thoughts, and consciously or unconsciously, we are working on realizing them. Let it be better good. And that's why it is very helpful to put positive images into your brain, because that's what your brain is going to work on. And it can happen spontaneously, like you spend time with God and there are these images he shows to you and he plays these little games with you, and it's so cool when it happens spontaneously, and it will happen to you spontaneously if you are open to it. But you don't need to wait for that to happen. So you are free to like give 5 minutes or half an hour to see what you want to become. And yeah, it's very, very powerful. So sometimes when I have zero faith on something and God just tells me, you're going to do that, and I'm like, no, I surely won't do that. And then I just start to accustom my brain to it, like feeling it, seeing it. And then after a while I feel like, okay, actually it seems quite possible. So you can teach yourself to believe in one sense. Like if you see, if you sense, if you imagine, your brain will help to create and make it your reality. And that's why it is very necessary to destruct the patterns of lies in your head, because in that sense your brain is put on autopilot to destroy you. Like these negative thoughts are working on negative imaginations which make negative things real in your life. So that's why it is very important. But you can work against it by practicing seeing and imagining what God tells you who you are, and you will become like that. You are becoming that, and you are that right now. God bless you. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was a blessing for you. This course is completely free of charge. However, the production and editing has a cost, and I wanted to produce this series in the best possible quality and make it available to everyone absolutely free on YouTube. So if you feel led to, please contribute with any amount to the production costs. All the donation options and the payment methods are available in the description.